Hi students, we are discussing Unit 19, Movement in Animals. So in this lesson, we discussed about what is movement, what is locomotion, what are the different kinds of movement that are takes place in different kinds of organisms like earthworm, cockroach, birds, snake, fishes, etc. Okay, and like that, how the movement that takes place in human body is also we discussed in our previous class. In human body, there are three different kinds of movements. One is amoeboid movement, and the second one is the ciliary movement that are takes place in the cell based. Okay, so cells move ஆகிறது வந்து பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா either by the amoeboid movement or the ciliary movement. Okay, and the movement of organ is based on the muscles. Okay, a movement of organ, the expansion of organ and the relaxation of organ is takes place by the muscles. Okay, so these three kind of movements we discussed in our previous class. Now we are going to start the topic, that is the joint. We know that we are having 206 bones in our body. Yeah, by the help of the bones we move our body, we move our organs, we locomote from one place to another place. Okay, the joint is very important for the movement of our body organ or the body. Okay, so the joint is nothing, the point at which two separate bones meet is called as a joint. Okay, the point of contact between the two bones, just அவ்வளவுதான். Okay, ரெண்டு bone join ஆகிற இடம், the point of contact between the two bones is called as the joint. Depending on the type of movement they allow, okay, how the movement takes place in the joint. Okay, jointல எப்படி movement இருக்கு அப்படிங்கறத பேஸ் பண்ணி the joints can be of three types: fixed joint, slightly movable joint, and the movable joint. Yeah, so first one, fixed joint or the immovable joint, because there is no movement is allowed here. Okay, there is no movement is allowed here, so that it is called as a fixed joint or immovable joint. Okay, the structure between the bones of the skull. So number skull box, the skull box that consists of 8 bones. Okay, the cranium அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு சொல்றோம், that we are having the hair. Okay, நமக்கு hair present ஆயிருக்கிற அந்த ஏரியாவில் வந்து பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா that we are having totally 8 bones. These 8 bones are joined together by the sutures. Okay, so sutures போடுறாங்க, தையல் போடுறாங்க இல்லையா, ஸோ அது மாதிரி. So suture jointல வந்து join இருக்கு, so it is non-movable, it is immovable joint, it is not move. Okay, it does not allow the movement. Okay, so this is the fixed joint. Okay, next one is slightly movable joint. Okay, next one is the slightly movable joint. It allows the slight movement, a little bit movement, very little bit amount of movement. So that is the slightly movable joint. Here only very little or partial movement is takes place. Very little or partial movement is takes place. Okay, the joint between the rib and the breastbone. Okay, rib and the breastbone, or between the vertebrae, is the example for slightly movable joint. Okay, the vertebrae that present in our vertebral column. Okay, நம்மளோட vertebral columnல there are 33 vertebrae. So the bones of the vertebral column is called as the vertebrae. So between the vertebrae there is a slight movement is present, so it is coming under this slightly movable joint. Okay, so and the rib bones and between the rib and the breastbone. Okay, so breast thoracic bone சொல்லலாம், இல்லாட்டி chest bone சொல்லலாம். ஸோ அந்த போனுக்கும் ரிப்ஸ்க்கும் நடுவில் இருக்கிற மூமெண்ட். ஓகே, ஸோ தீஸ் ஆர் கம்மிங் அண்டர் தி ஸ்லைட்லி மூவபிள் ஜாயின்ஸ். So next one is the freely movable joint. In this type, varying degree of movement is possible between the two bones forming the joint. Okay, So this is the freely movable joint is in different kinds. There are different kinds of freely movable joints are present. These three freely movable joint gives different kinds of movement. Okay, there are 6 major types of movable joints are present. The movable joint is also called as the synovial joint. Okay, the freely movable joint is a synovial joint. A synovial joint is which makes the connection between two bones consisting of a cartilage-lined cavity filled with a fluid. Here the fluid is filled. Okay, that the fluid is called as the synovial fluid. Okay, which is known as the diarthrosis joint. Okay, which is known as the diarthrosis joint because there is a lining of the cartilaginous cavity. Okay, the cartilage lining is present above the bone, so that it is called as diarthrosis joint. Okay, so diarthrosis joint, the synovial joint is a type of, it is a movable joint. So it is also called as the diarthrosis joint. Okay. The synovial joints are the most flexible joint between the bones because the bones are not physically connected and can move more freely in relation to each other. Here you can see the bones, the two bones are not physically connected. Okay, so they are joined by the cartilage and the membranes. Okay, so that there is no physical contact between the two bones, so that there is a freely movement. Okay, there is they give the free movement of the bones. Okay, the synovial joint have 4 main distinguishing features. Okay, synovial joint la 4 main parts are present. One is the ligament. Okay, first one is the ligament, a band of strong fibrous tissue. Okay, ligament is a band, it is like a strap, it is like a belt. Now eppadi dress la belt use pandrom illaya, like that, a band of strong fibrous tissue that connects the bone to the bone, the ligament that connects the bone to the bone. Okay, next one is the synovial fluid. A synovial fluid is a slippery fluid which consistency of egg white. Okay, adoda consistency is like egg white. Egg white எப்படி consistency இருக்குமோ like that, அது மாதிரி இருக்கிறது white and egg white மாதிரியே it is present, that is contained within the joint cavity. So that is present within the joint cavity. So joint cavity is this, in the cavity குள்ள தான் எது present ஆயிருக்கு அப்படினா the synovial fluid is present. The reduced friction between the articular cartilage in the joint. So between the articular cartilage is this, the blue color layer of the synovial joint. So in the bone this is one bone and this is the another one bone. So between the above the bone there is another one layer. This layer is called as articular cartilage. Okay, this layer is called as the articular cartilage. And between these two bones are connected by the membrane that is called a synovial membrane. This red line, this is the synovial membrane. Above the synovial membrane there is another one layer, that is the joint capsule. Okay, that is the joint capsule, this is the joint capsule. So the joint capsule is present above the synovial membrane, and the bone, this and these two bones are connected by a band, that is the ligament. Okay, so and the space, the articular space, this is the space ingiyum irukku. So indakla irukku parunga articular space. This articular space is filled with the fluid. That fluid is called as the synovial fluid. Okay, this fluid is a synovial fluid. It is a slippery fluid with the consistency of egg white, that is contained within a joint cavity. It is present within the joint cavity. This is the joint cavity. cavity is the space. Okay, it is present where it is present. So ஏதாவது ஒரு இடத்துல ஒரு ஸ்பேஸ் இருக்குது அப்படின்னா அதுதான் நம்ம என்ன சொல்கிறோம் அப்படின்னா கேவிட்டி அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு சொல்கிறோம். ஸோ இங்கே என்ன இருக்குது அப்படின்னா cavity is present, that is present between the two bones, that is called as the articular cavity. ஸோ synovial cavityன்னு சொல்லலாம் or articular cavityன்னு சொல்கிறோம். Within the synovial cavity the synovial fluid is present. Okay, so it is acting as a lubricant that avoid the friction. Okay, friction of the bones. Next, articular cartilage, a glassy smooth cartilage that is a spongy and covers the end of the bones in the joint. So cartilage அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா cartilage is a type of connective tissue. Okay, cartilage is a type of connective tissue that is made up of cartilage bones. Okay, bone cells, cartilage cells. Okay, so in this the cells are loosely arranged. In cartilage the cells are loosely packed, so it has the flexibility. Okay, so it has the flexibility. Here the cells are arranged loosely. In cartilage tissue the cells are arranged loosely, so it gives the flexibility to the spongy structure or the flexible structure to the bone. Okay, that cartilage. Okay, பின்னா இருக்கு இல்லையா நம்மளோட இயரோட பின்னா காது மடல் சொல்கிறோம்ல, the pinna that consists of the cartilage, that is made up of cartilage, and the tip of our nose that consists of the cartilage, they have the flexibilities. Okay, okay, next வந்து பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா joint, the articular cartilage. So the above the bones there is a cartilage, so this is called as articular cartilage. Okay, it is glassy smooth cartilage that is spongy and covers the end of the bones in the joint to absorb the shock and prevent the friction. சரி, இப்போ நம்ம திடீர்னு வந்து பார்க்குறோன்னா ரெண்டு போன்ஸ் வேகமாக மோது, நம்ம காலை ஏதோ தெரியாமல் வேகமாக வச்சுட்டோம், இல்லை சடன் பெண்ட் பண்ணோம். ஸோ அப்போ என்ன ஆகும்னா ரெண்டு போன்ஸ்க்கு நடுவில் ஸ்ட்ரக்கிங் வரலாம். ஓகே, ஸோ அப்படி ஆகாமல் அந்த ஷாக்ஸ்லேருந்து ப்ரிவெண்ட் பண்ணுறது எது அப்படின்னா இந்த கார்டிலேஜ். தென் அதே மாதிரி ரெண்டு போன்ஸும் ஒன்னோட ஒன்று ஜாயின் பண்ணி மூவ்மெண்ட் பண்ணும்போது என்ன ஆகும் அப்படின்னா there is a chance of the friction. ஸோ அந்த ஃப்ரிக்ஷனை அவாய்ட் பண்ணுறதும் எது அப்படின்னா இந்த articular cartilage. Okay, the next one is the joint capsule, a tough fibrous tissue that has two layers, which is fibrous capsule lying outside the synovial membrane. நம்ம ஏற்கனவே பார்த்தோம் இல்லையா? So outside the synovial membrane, the blue color layer, so that is the joint capsule. Okay, the fibrous capsule helps in the strengthen the joint, while the synovial membrane lines the joint and secretes the synovial fluid. Okay, so fibrous capsule என்ன பண்ணுது அப்படின்னா strengthen the joint வந்து நல்லா strengthen பண்ணுறதுக்காக இருக்கிறது தான் வந்து பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா this joint capsule. Okay, within the joint capsule என்ன இருக்குன்னா synovial membrane is present, the synovial membrane that secretes the synovial fluid. Okay, synovial membrane எதை secrete பண்ணுது? synovial fluid secrete பண்ணுது. Okay, so இப்போ the synovial joint, in the synovial joint it allows different kinds of movement in different kinds of place. Based on that, the joints or the movable joints are classified into 6 different categories. Okay, that is this. So the synovial joint or the freely movable joint, it is classified based on their movement into 6 different categories. First one is the ball and socket joint, second one is hinge joint, third one is pivot, fourth one is condyloid, fifth one is gliding joint, and the last sixth one is the saddle joint. Okay, so these are the 6 different kinds of joint, synovial joint or movable joint based on the movement. Okay, so we will discuss these 6 different kinds of joint in our next class. Okay, thank you.